What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. You guys already know what it is. It's draft season all year long, and today we have an Atlanta Falcons mock draft for you guys. Now, if you are an Atlanta Falcons fan, consider sharing the video because the more views this gets, the more likely I am to make an Atlanta Falcons mock draft in the future. And if you like anything related to the NFL draft, which we mainly do mock drafts on this channel, consider subscribing on the road to 400 subscribers. And without further ado, let's get this thing started. So, the Atlanta Falcons currently have the number 7 overall pick in the NFL draft. And what? Okay, very, very interesting. This is the second mock draft in a row where Jalen Carter has fallen out of the top 5, let alone the top 3 in itself is crazy. I mean, he could certainly be the number 1 overall pick. This is crazy. Okay, this could definitely happen. It's not out of the realm of possibility. Now, most cases, we would take Myles Murphy here because he would be number 1 on the board, also filling a need at the edge rusher spot. But if Jalen Carter is sitting here at number 7, guys, this card is being turned in instantly here. Imagine him paired up with Grady Jarrett in the interior of that line. No one is running through this Atlanta Falcons team here. And the great thing about Jalen Carter, too, is he can also create some pass rush, which this team hasn't had in such a long time. They have one of the worst sack totals, if not the worst sack totals, over the last couple of years here, just because they don't have any talent at the position. They tried to address it with Arnold Ebiketie, but he's more of a project developmental player that we want to see what he's going to do in a couple of years. On the other side, you have Lorenzo Carter, who just, I mean, for his standards, he's been playing better, but he's not all that great. But Jalen Carter would shore up both a run defense and a pass defense that is struggling for the Atlanta Falcons. A great start here for the team. Again, crazier things have happened in the NFL draft. This is a great way for us to start here. Now, very interesting. Joey Porter's here, but I feel like we have a good group of corners, right? A.J. Terrell is one of the young and up-and-coming corners in our league. We also have Casey Hayward, who is a pretty good veteran. I know he's been hurt recently, but he's been sustaining himself on that side when he's on the field. And Isaiah Oliver has really picked up his game in the slot. So, very interesting scenario to be in right here. Again, we could take one of these edge rushers because to go along with Jalen Carter, who was a shocker in itself there with our first pick, we still need to address that outside linebacker position and bring someone in there. Will McDonald is a very explosive edge rusher out of Iowa State. Really like his game, and he has a combination of both speed and strength to his game, which I like, but a relatively raw talent, which is why he'll be here in the 2nd or 3rd round come draft day. So, very interesting here. We could go with him. Andre Carter is also another interesting one. Okay, I'm actually going to look at trade offers here. So, the Packers are the next team at 47 and the Jaguars at 52. Now, do we take our chances, drop to 47, and bank on the fact that McDonald will still be there? I'm not sure about that, to be quite honest with you guys. Because the Raiders could definitely use an edge rusher. I think the Panthers could as well. Yeah, I do not want to risk it. So what we're going to do here is we are going to take Will McDonald out of Iowa State here. Like I mentioned before, right? This team has just been unable to get to the quarterback these past few years because they don't have any talent at the edge rusher position. You need that in the NFL game because almost every team is just pass heavy. I mean, this is how teams win games. They win games by just throwing it through the air. It is a passing league now. And if you don't have a defense to counter it, create pressure. I mean, every quarterback's weakness is when they have pressure in their face. And the Atlanta Falcons do not have any of that right now. So we're going to go with Will McDonald out of Iowa State here. Like I said, it's similar to an Arnold Ebiketie where you might need a couple of years until you finally get some real production out of him. But I'm going to bank on that potential. I really liked Arnold Ebiketie coming out of last year's draft out of Penn State. I think Will McDonald has that same type of potential. He's a really, really talented player that's really buried in a very deep edge rusher class this year in the 2023 draft. Okay, sitting here in the 3rd round now. So we've really made it an emphasis to bolster up this defensive line. Kobe Turner had himself a pretty decent game here in the bowl season. Derek Hall is another one of these guys who are kind of buried in all of the depth that there is here in this edge rusher class. Bo Nix, interesting. I don't think he's going to be there anymore because I think he's going back to Oregon. Jack Campbell's an interesting one. Jahmyr Gibbs here. Guys, look, I really like Jalen Hyatt here in round 3. And the reason for that is because I think that this passing game for the Atlanta Falcons is going to open up now that Desmond Ridder is the quarterback and he's had a year to develop or so. I think Arthur Smith didn't really trust Marcus Mariota with the football in his hands in terms of making decisions in the passing game. I think he's going to trust Desmond Ridder a lot more, and I think we've seen proof of that in the limited amount of snaps that Ridder has had, because we see guys like Drake London finally having his target and catch numbers go up as a result of Desmond Ridder being the quarterback. I think they're going to truly air the ball out more. I don't think that they're going to completely abandon the run game, because Desmond Ridder does have that element to his game where he can run the football. But I think that they're going to pass the ball more, and they need another weapon along with Drake London at the wide receiver position to go along with that. So I think giving him a true wide receiver 2 in Jalen Hyatt, or I mean, potentially a wide receiver 1. Jalen Hyatt is such a talented guy. I think having those two guys on the outside would be truly beneficial to the development of Desmond Ridder. You know, have Kyle Pitts to go along with that. You have Cordero Patterson coming out of the backfield. I like the weapons that will be provided for Drake London here, or sorry, for Desmond Ridder here with the addition of Jalen Hyatt. So I think we had ourselves a pretty decent draft. I mean, a really good draft considering that we got Jalen Carter here at number 7 in the draft. They're going to be grading our draft right here, see how we did. I typically don't really like the way that they grade it, but it is what it is. So we got an overall draft grade of a B, Jalen Carter an A, and then we got C and C plus in our mid-round picks. But I really like the way that this draft went. Like I said, Jalen Carter is just a home run here at number 7. How it's not an A plus, I'll never understand. Will McDonald here, like I said, right, this is a guy who's buried in a very deep edge rusher class. I think he's better than a lot of people have been giving him credit for. I haven't heard much talk about him at all during this draft process, just because there's so many guys ranked ahead of him in terms of prospects here at the position. And then Jalen Hyatt, this is a guy who is a deep threat, truly a deep threat, played in a very good offense at Tennessee. So there's just a lot of question marks on what kind of receiver he truly is. You know, can he put his talent, or can he maximize his talent, extend his route tree, stay healthy, those type of things. Those are the big question marks surrounding Jalen Hyatt. But like I said, crucial to the development of Desmond Ridder to get him a second receiver on the outside. Will McDonald's going to help with that pass rushing game that they truly lack here in Atlanta. And then Jalen Carter, just an all-around beast, a guy who could truly be the number 1 pick, strictly off of the fact that he is a very rare talent to find in the draft. So let me know what you guys think about this draft in the comment section below. If you guys enjoy these mock draft videos, consider subscribing. We are on the road to 400 subscribers. And until then, I will see you guys all later.